This time, it's different. The 4-year cycle seems to be over and it's now all about liquidity, whether that be the global M2 liquidity that you may hear on a lot of channels, or like we talk about here, the US net liquidity, a much more accurate level. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I want to talk about what is different, why we still have a massive opportunity in front of us, and more importantly, I'm going to give you some pretty big news and some very interesting charts that you need to keep an eye on. So let's get into this video because this is a good one. But first, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Remember, we talk about crypto every single day here on the 2Bit Crypto channel, and join us live streaming every day at 4 p.m. Eastern. Definitely worth your time. Right, with that being said, let's get into the video. So as Bitcoin is having a reasonably good weekend, we'll talk a little bit more about my live stream later on today about price action. But look, we are continuing our uptrend. We're looking for a break above 86,500. That could signify a reversal trend or a definite confirmation of that reversal trend. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that. But I want to talk about a couple of things going on. Why is it different under the Trump administration? Why are people thinking the market's over? Well, there's a few things going on that I think is just worthwhile knowing. Obviously, you have to make the decision on what you want to do with your portfolio, but there are some pretty crazy stuff that, well, simply people aren't talking about. Representative Byron Donalds, now you may have seen him as part of the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve group, the Crypto Task Force group. He ultimately now is putting this bill forward to cement President Trump's strategic Bitcoin reserve into law. This will protect it for future administrations, i.e. this is a big deal, by the way. And I was watching YouTube earlier on. I was kind of just flicking around a few other people that I watch in the space. No one's talking about this. This would cement the Bitcoin reserve into the history books. It couldn't be removed. It would absolutely sit there. And this is very interesting indeed. It says here, look, Mr. Donalds introduced the following bill, which was referred to the committee to give the force an effective law in the executive order issued on March 6th, entitled Establishment of the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve and the United States Digital Asset Stockpile. So this obviously goes forward and would therefore be written into law. Therefore, it would need a constitutional change to take this out. This cements Bitcoin's place in the US politics for the future. And let's just work out some narratives if this becomes incredibly successful. And by the way, this could be one of the biggest decisions that is made in political history, especially when it comes to an economic change. Then this could cement Bitcoin to the 500,000, a million. Who knows what it's going to be by the time that the 4 years is up for the current administration. But this is a big deal, and simply people are not talking about it. It cements the reserve and it cements that asset stockpile. And I think once this goes through, you may see a shift where we actually start seeing some Bitcoin being purchased or certainly being moved into these two key things. Very bullish indeed. Now, a couple of charts that I want to talk about. The bottom is in, or certainly according to the value days destroyed multiplier. You can see historically, we see these green candles. These show us the bottom of the market before the uptrend move into the peaks of extreme value, which is the very dark red. And what we're seeing right now, we are back in a period of green. Now, I know what some of you are saying. Well, hold on a minute, 2Bit. Surely this could signify that we're done. Well, that is an argument to say that there is a move coming. You can see here, going back to 2023, we don't have the data before that, but what we can say is as we get into this green line, this value area, it is then preceded by a push to the upside. And depending on the green depends on the push. And a lot of people will say this, the longer we consolidate, the bigger the move to the upside. And we had a little one here followed by that big move. Is this then the double top that we're going to see? It's telling us the bottom's in, but the top is yet to be found. And I think this is a very interesting chart and certainly does align to what I've been talking about, which is kind of mid-August as a potential market top, then October the 25th, done and dusted. And then we're into kind of 4 years of, or however many years, of pain. This aligns, by the way, to the MVRV score, which we've been talking about, which is said absolutely we start to see this push, this initial rally, then the pullback, and then off we go to the races. And we've seen this across previous bull market cycles as well, where we kind of move to the upside, we test some of this higher level before a little consolidation, and then the move to the upside, hitting this red zone that we have hit, FYI, on every single bull market before we then see that correction. And we are nowhere near there. So as I've said a number of times in my live stream, this could either be the worst bull market in history, doesn't feel like it should be, or there is significantly more to come. And it all starts to line up, especially when you start to think about that August and October part. The accelerated cycle theory out the window. It's going to be, if anything, a delayed cycle theory. So we'll keep an eye on that. You've got the returns that are looking pretty interesting. Again, March just marginally red. That I assume will go to green tomorrow. But April is always a bit of a challenging month. We do generally see about a 13% increase into May and June, offering a little bit of an upside move. Where we've probably missed the big push is always February and March. And, we've got a couple of weeks left in March. But all of this is aligning, in my opinion, to a continuous move to the upside, and many people simply disagree. You can then take this, the stablecoin market cap. What do we know? People are stacking big. Now, there is two theories to this. One is people are just done with the market. They're getting out. They're going to sit in stablecoin. They don't like the volatility with the Trump tariffs and everything else that's coming in. The other one is marketeers and buyers are positioning themselves for what might come. There was an open short trade earlier around $335 million. Could this signal that we're going to see some more pain coming out of the weekend? Are we going to see some more reciprocal tariffs? Maybe. So then this is a very interesting statistic that we're seeing huge amounts of money change, over 2.302 billion in the last 7 days. It's a pretty big amount of money going into stablecoin. Now, the other theory that you could apply to is, well, the market is nervous and people are going to miss the opportunity. So for anyone who's still in and hasn't moved, then this could be a great opportunity, as this money will come flooding back in when we get some positive sentiment. So let's go all the way back to the very start. Why is this different under the Trump administration? Well, there's a lot of things that people don't think about. When we talk tariffs, yes, it creates market volatility, but what's the purpose of the tariffs? Tariffs are to make people manufacture goods in the US. Now, why is this important? Because it puts more money back into the US economy, therefore bringing inflation down and allowing risk on assets to thrive. We talked about this in my inflation update video. If you haven't already seen that, definitely go and check that out, as well as the upcoming Fed meeting, which, just FYI, is coming very, very soon. In fact, we now only have 3 days and 17 hours to come in with a huge expectation of, well, nothing. It's going to be pretty flat. But the key thing will be, will Jerome Powell align to the president and give a dovish sentiment? We know that CPI was good, PPI was good, and more importantly, jobs are on the increase, which then sets us up for a very interesting May and a potential rate cut coming in July. Why is it different? Well, Trump's plan seems to be working. Inflation cuts coming in June, September, and maybe even one in December. 3 rate cuts could be wild. Dovish Jerome Powell, definitely possible. We'll obviously keep you posted on everything going on here on the 2Bit Crypto channel. So make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye-bye.